This is one of the most disturbing people that I have ever seen. You can't have a clear conscience at night. I don't know how you lay your head on the pillow and you know that you did these things to your friends, your family, your children. You're saying these things about your kids. You previously exploited, I mean, let's not even get into that right now. Exploited your children online for years before you were called out and asked to stop, finally. It honestly only really came to a stop because her and Oscar broke up. And why'd they break up? She wanted to be with her nanny's and her best friend's husband. Today we're gonna be talking about the most hated person on the internet. And when I say the most hated person, I mean the most hated person on the internet. If it's not her, I don't know who it is, because I haven't seen somebody get this much hate in a very long time. But it is, I have to say, and you can make your decision by the end of this video, it is deserved, in my personal opinion. I cannot be talking about anybody else but that of Kyra from okbaby. If you haven't seen all of this drama, I'm about to give you the most comprehensive timeline that has ever been assembled, okay? Because honestly, I've watched a lot of videos, I've seen a lot of stuff about this. There's been new developments to this story. I feel like we just got to go over it because honestly, it hasn't always been this way for Kyra of okbaby, the YouTube channel. So it's a popular YouTube channel, started in 2015. She started it with her partner at the time named Oscar. They were high school sweethearts. They were young parents who had 4 children together, and they would, family vlog, which obviously is not cool. So let's get into it. This is the story of the most hated person on the internet at this point. So here we have Kyra and Oscar. These are the two that started the channel okbaby back in 2015, like I was mentioning. These are their 4 kids, and they basically vlogged their family life, being young parents, and they were extremely popular at a time, okay? Being high school sweethearts, people like that storyline. Eventually, they got to 1.4 million subscribers. They were getting millions and millions of views. People loved them. They loved their relationship. Obviously, they were a pretty popular family channel. When you have a lot of kids, sometimes you needed to bring in some extra help, right? So Kyra brings on this girl named Hannah right here, okay? Hannah Hawker, as their nanny. They're similar in age. They have a lot of similar interests. She's a cute girl. So they become fast friends. They hang out as the 4 of them as couples. This is her husband, Preston. They would hang out, all 4 of them, as a couple. But the original 2, the closest 2, were Kyra and Hannah.
Game night! Who's excited? Me! Guys! Oh my goodness, and you brought the goods. Look at that, look at that.
We did it last year. It's actually when we kind of became friends for the first time with Hannah and Preston.
No, we've been friends with Hannah. We just became friends with Preston.
No, we knew them, but that's when I feel like we really became like friends.
They become their 2 closest friends. They really like each other, and they would not know Preston if it were not for Hannah, obviously.
Did you guys season this one at least?
Yes, salt and pepper, just for Hannah, just for Hannah. Forgot to vlog. What's up, Hannah? What's up, Preston Tushy? Good to see us together again, huh?
Oh my god, so nice, honestly.
By the way, guys, tonight is actually Friday night. It's not our typical Saturday night game nights. I think we're changing that. I'm kind of sad about it because Saturday nights is when the fights are on, so it was fun to watch the fights and then play games.
They had a regular Saturday night game night. Everybody gets together. The guys watch the fights on TV. The girls hang out and do girl time, whatever. They were regular characters on the okbaby channel as well, back during when they were vlogging a lot. Hannah and Kyra are such great friends that they actually decided to start a podcast together called Beneath the Sheets. They start this podcast in July of 2021. It's called Beneath the Sheets because they talk a lot about sexually explicit topics. Okay, here's some. You could read that for yourself.
Hi, I'm Kyra.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
Welcome back to Beneath the Sheets,
where we make the uncomfortable
comfortable. Guys, this season has finally come where we're not alone. We're not feeling lonely. We have guests.
So they brought on Preston and Oscar, which were both of their partners, onto the podcast to do a guest star episode. I just realized something myself personally. So this podcast came out January 12th, 2022. Just keep that in mind. Okay, the timing of this, it will become very, very pertinent later. And I just realized this now.
This is my not baby daddy because apparently we have some baby
daddy
that he doesn't want to be a baby daddy. I don't know. We're figuring it out. We've been here.
Why are you talking about this on a podcast? I don't know. Airing it out, these problems, I don't know, but they make the uncomfortable comfortable.
He's the one who makes it come to life because we can sit here and talk, but it doesn't become anything without this guy.
What they just mentioned right there, I'm including that because Kyra actually had the idea to make Preston, which I don't know what his background is. I know he played football in college or something, but she hired him on as their audio engineer, behind the scenes guy for their podcast, doing everything in-house apparently. I didn't know that he had background knowledge in this, but he was helping them like edit and doing things. So that's kind of important information as well, is that the girls had him over a lot. Like he was always helping out with the podcast and helping out, you know, behind the scenes with work stuff. So doing back end things. Now we have the breakup video. Now this video has been deleted, wiped off the channel. I'm just gonna give you the preface though. This video came out in January of 2022. Okay, it hit the internet and it took everyone by surprise because this family channel that these two had been together, they have 4 kids together. They've been together for 7 years at that point. Kyra had broken up with Oscar. It is widely regarded as the worst breakup video ever posted online because basically her behavior toward Oscar in this video is extremely cruel and unusual. Everybody was just like, why in the world would you ever think that it'd be okay to post this? Got a ton of backlash, just so you know. All right, so let's watch this.
Are you gonna cry?
No.
I might. I'm just kidding.
Alright, we were going through a lot of emotions and a lot of sad, at least I was going through a lot of sad emotions, which, so for me, I was going through it, but I was still in the denial phase, like, no, this can't be happening.
Yeah.
But sadly it is, and it happened, you guys.
We actually tried to make this video before, but it was very rough.
Yes.
It was too fresh.
And I still was not fully accepting it, and but I'm better now. So yeah, Kyra broke up with me. So
Does it make you feel better to say it like that? Because it's not you.
Yeah, because I tried my ass off to make it work in the end.
She's saying, does it feel better? She's smiling ear to ear. Look at this. Does it make it feel better that it wasn't you, that I'm the one that broke up with you? Does it make it feel better? It's like, I don't know. I think he probably just wouldn't want to be broken up with. You could tell by this video, he did not know this was coming. He was completely blindsided and he did not want to break up. Does this look like the behavior, the mannerisms of someone who just broke up with someone after 7 great years together and you have 4 children together?
In the end, doesn't always work anymore.
Yeah.
She goes, in the end, it doesn't always... The smiling. I mean, it was seriously, this is the craziest video that's ever been put up.
Are we just best friends? And nothing happened that's like crazy and dramatic. Nobody like cheated. Nobody like...
Feelings were hurt though. You did some things that hurt my feelings.
She said nobody like cheated. Okay, remember that she said that.
Can you please clarify that I wasn't cheating?
Yeah, you weren't cheating.
People will dig into
You
that.
did a lot of things that bothered me. I wouldn't consider them full-blown cheating, but it was definitely lines
Oscar, I'm
that
not
we shouldn't
keeping
have crossed.
that.
Alright, fine.
Why are they posting this? Maybe talk about this off camera before. It's so crazy. No, it's actually so crazy. I love it. This is my favorite video ever that's ever been posted. I don't have another one that I love more than this.
It takes 2 in a relationship, and Oscar is not like, yes, there are things he has done to hurt me or made us drift apart or like all the things, right? So have I. I knew when I, in my head, was thinking of Oscar being happy with somebody else and that made me happier, that's when I knew I didn't want to be with you anymore. When I think of you with somebody else and that's what I want for you, I don't think you're in love with that person.
Really?
I don't like the things that you like. I don't want the same things that you want. I'm not interested in the same things that you are. And I want you to have that with somebody.
Oh, this is insane. Sorry, this is cruel. This behavior to say, you know what, I can picture you with somebody else. Like, I can just see it. I love that for you. Like, you're crazy. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say it right now. And, you know, I think other people caught onto this as well. You don't say this stuff, I think, unless you've got somebody else waiting in the wings. I don't think you are. I think she had somebody waiting in the wings. We'll find out.
So what triggered you to be so mean though this last month? Not actually
What triggered you to be so mean?
very nice to me during the actual breakup process, but there was a phase where I was trying my
Once I had
best.
decided that I didn't want to be with Oscar anymore, I couldn't tell him that because we were going on these trips. Subconsciously, I really was self-sabotaging almost, or trying, I don't know. So it wasn't me, I don't even know.
Remember that, by the way. She was doing a lot in the weeks leading up to this to push him away. And I have to say this is some insider information, but people were able to surmise. I don't know if they said this exactly, if Kyra said this or revealed this or whatever. She actually broke up with Oscar because, like I said, this video came out in January 2022. She actually broke up with Oscar sometime in December of 2021. Timeline's very important here. We'll circle back. Don't worry. I got you.
But I was being mean because I was just angry. I also felt like I was lying to you, and things have been happening for a year.
Really?
I'm sad. I know you guys are gonna be sad. I'm sorry that we haven't made a video about it. I do feel like we're in a really good place right now.
Apparently no one's dating nothing like Disneyland.
Can I tell them about the funniest conversation I had with you?
What?
In Florida when we were on the phone.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess, whatever.
This is weird.
Oscar was, he went to a strip club, can I say that?
Yeah, I don't care.
The night before, and then we were talking about it, and I was like, well, did you, get a lap dance or anything? And he's like, no, I feel too awkward. So anyways, long story short.
I didn't go alone, by the way. I went with a group of friends.
So Oscar went to the strip club, didn't get a lap dance, stupid. Didn't Venmo me just as much money as the stripper, stupid.
I barely threw anything, but sure.
Tell them you barely didn't and how much it was.
Okay.
You sound like an idiot. Tell them.
I was trying to underplay.
Yeah.
It was only $200.
And I was trying to give him advice on how to sleep with girls or know when a
I'm sorry, you're so far removed if you are actually giving your ex-boyfriend of 7 years. They were fiancés. Can I say that as well, by the way? I totally forgot. They were engaged. The two of them were engaged. And by all intents and purposes, they were basically married. I mean, they had 4 children together. They've been together for 7 years. They lived together. They shared finances. They shared a YouTube channel, a business, basically. Guys, the red flags are flagging. They're flying high in the sky. I mean, this is so crazy. People obviously are like, hold on a minute. What do you mean you're giving him tips on how to sleep with other girls?
girl wants to.
She was telling me hey, I think you should sleep with someone. Like, what?
Why are you telling that story? I think it's one of those videos where people truly were shocked at how detached someone could possibly be, so heartless and cold. It was a really difficult watch, let's put it that way.
I'm sure you guys have a million questions, so leave your quick questions down below. We'll probably do a Q&A because why not?
They used to exploit everything, by the way. They exploited their kids, their relationship.
I think after everything you put me through, I would be like...
Me put you through? I've done nothing. Besides some attitude here and there. And comforting another guy because he was sad.
She comforted another guy when he was sad. I wonder who that is. Here's where things go crazy. The video comes out that they've broken up in January of 2022. Kyra and Oscar are still co-parenting. They still are making videos together. Kyra does move out. They still see each other all the time. She's still friends with Hannah. Not really a whole lot has changed, and it does look like it's a very amicable breakup. Well, here's where things go crazy. A whistleblower comes forward and contacts a YouTube channel called the Dad Challenge Podcast. He's a very popular anti-child exploitation YouTuber. He had been covering a lot of okbaby content because they were exploiting their kids for a very long time. This person comes forward and spills everything.
So as you know, I've been covering the okbaby breakup situation as part of this whole anti-family vlogger world. Part of the thing I do here at the Dad Challenge Podcast is try to show you what it's really like behind the scenes of these family vlogs. When things like this go down, who suffers? It's the children, right? Before I get started into what my source has told me, I need to let you know this is all allegations. My source has the proof that she sent me and reached out to me and said, look, I didn't know who she was, and I need to get this off my chest because now that I see the whole story, it's kind of bugging me, and she let me know what's going on. So this is what happened. 2 days ago, I got a message in my Instagram, and I get tons and tons of messages.
Some background information. This video by Dad Challenge Podcast came out in May of 2022, but allegedly this took place in April of 2022.
This girl reached out to me. I'm not going to be telling you what her name is. She doesn't want to be on camera. She doesn't want her name out there. But she said, look, how do I say this? I need to tell you something. I had a threesome with Preston and Kyra. And I said, Preston and Kyra, from okbaby? She's like, yes. And then started talking a little bit. And I'm not going to share our conversations, but she basically said, yeah, I was in Vegas. I was approached on Bumble by Preston, and Preston said, hey, are you interested in read my profile. I'm only interested in, sex and doing threesomes with my partner, right? And so I asked this person, are you sure it's not Hannah, this girl, Hannah, that Preston was dating?
You guys remember Hannah, the nanny. Okay, and their friend. And by the way, Kyra was also not dating anybody, according to her, any of her stuff. She was allegedly not even dating anybody at this time.
She's like, no, it absolutely wasn't Hannah. Hannah has not said anything. Oscar hasn't said anything. Preston hasn't said anything. We know that Hannah and Preston have been broken up now. Nobody knows why.
There's a lot of talk about were Hannah and Preston actually ever married, because they were definitely fully engaged. And by the way, I have to say this as well, totally forgot. Hannah and Preston were high school sweethearts. They met in high school, were together for many, many years, just like Kyra and Oscar were. Apparently, just before this happened, it got leaked that they had broken up. And in fact, some people report that he actually filed for divorce from her, which I don't know if they had like a common law marriage or something. I don't know what was going on. But he actually filed for divorce in April of 2022. And Hannah was still friends with Kyra.
I think I now know why. So here's how this went. Get ready. Look, guys, I know this is tea and everything, but we have to understand at its core here, the reason I'm doing this video right now is honestly because everything has kind of changed from, you know, let's see it from both angles to justice for Oscar. I kid you not. That's where I'm going to go with this. Like, this guy has been absolutely played, and I want to say for probably years. Okay, so here it is. Let's go reach out to me. So she sent me these receipts, and I'm going to show you the receipts real quick. Preston on Bumble sent this to my source. Says, Hi, did you read profile? Yes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so crazy.
You interested? We are. Are you? Paradise, where are you? Yes, I am. So he's asking where she's from, blah, blah, blah. Don't forget they're in Vegas at this point. This is April 21st, 2022.
April 21st, like I said, some people allege that he filed for divorce sometime like I think maybe April 12th. 2022. These timelines are very close together. And just the audacity of now you are with your nanny and your best friend's ex-husband or ex-fiance.
But we'll get to that in a second. Where are you? Paradise, where are you? Yes, I am. We are staying at the Wynn. Okay? Are you free tomorrow night? Sounds fun. Tonight? So they're saying tomorrow night and they're saying tonight. And then Preston said, we're going to a show. So my source asked Preston for a photo of them because they're asking this girl to be a part of a threesome. Oh, God. Right? They just want to have some fun and consenting adults. And, again, whatever. And this is the photo that Preston sent my source.
You have to understand the cultural impact of this picture, okay? No, I need to describe it to you because it's so crazy, okay? This photo had never been seen before. There's no way that anyone has this photo right here, okay? If this whistleblower does not come forward and obviously give it to Dad Challenge Podcast, first of all, but no one knows that they're together at this point. No one would have access to this photo because it's not posted anywhere because Kyra is being very intentional about hiding the fact she does not want anyone to know that she's with Preston because why? It's a horrible look and vice versa. He doesn't want the same. So they had someone take a picture of them in Vegas. And then this photo is the one that they sent to their, potential threesome partner. No one has this photo if the whistleblower does not come forward. And no one knew that they were together. That's what's crazy.
Yes, that's Preston, Hannah's ex-fiance. You seeing it? Okay, this is a relatively new photo he sent to them. Think this is them that night, right before they went to their show in Vegas. Then she sent me the text messages that they were receiving. I don't know what the top here says, we love that. Hi, baby girl. Just getting time to respond myself. Let's grab drinks and show you what rough really feels like. Kyra. Oh. So this is Kyra texting from Preston's account. Could be, could not be, whatever. Could be Preston doing that. Oh, I like the sound of that. I'm excited to meet you both. Text us what a good time is and we can find a good bar and meet you there if that's okay with you. Yes, sounds good. Thanks, love. And then it's tongue emoji with hearts. So they're getting all hot and horny, ready to go do this thing.
The way you said that's pretty funny.
So Kyra's here in Vegas at the Wynn Hotel, which is a very, very posh, fancy hotel. Very expensive, crazy expensive. These people just spend money like water.
People were able to go in and find out, okay, she was in fact in Las Vegas when this happened. So the deniability is out the window at this point. Okay, you can no longer deny that you guys are actually in Vegas. This story is too odd, okay, that random person would, create this false narrative about you in Vegas. It's too odd. Things are just aligning too much.
There's no picture of Preston here because she didn't tag Preston because she doesn't want you to know that Preston is here because they're out debaucherizing Vegas. So apparently what happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas in Kyra's case. My source then says, okay, I meet up with them at the lobby. They look great. Everybody's a little bit drunk. She says she's a little bit drunk.
Okay, this is where things get crazy, okay? Information is shared in this time, which is nuts.
And they head up to the hotel and they're stopped at security at the elevators. They have to show their room cards because it's a very, very posh, expensive hotel. They don't want just anybody going around. They see 3 young people heading up to the rooms. They're thinking, are they filming things? You know what I'm saying? Wynn has to be careful. So they all go up. They start drinking, start talking, and everything else. I'm gonna pull up my notes here because there's a lot of notes I took. So my source started just talking, and I'm just saying, walk me through the night, minus kind of getting into the nitty gritty of the details of the stuff because I don't care. I don't need to know that.
Things still come out, and we'll see, literally and figuratively.
It's not important for this. Just know that they were connecting for hookups, okay? So she said, yeah, we just started talking. They were relatively nice, and we were getting a little bit more drunk, and starting to ask some questions like, how long you guys been together? And this is where this kind of bombshells. Ready?
Okay, here we go. I mean, guys, it doesn't get juicier than this. I mean, it really doesn't. So this was a true bombshell when this dropped.
Kyra said that her and Preston have been together for over 8 months. Right? And a lot of you are thinking, oh, doing the math. You're doing the math, right? Yeah. The We Broke Up video was 4 months ago. Okay? And before that, the actual breakup was on Oscar and Kyra's anniversary, December 21st, I think, like that. So if you're doing the math with me, that's September 2021 that Kyra admits to this person that they've been dating.
Are you kidding me? So according to her, and why would she lie to this person? Why? Like, why would you say 8 months? Okay, it's not like, oh, you slipped up and you accidentally said something. Why would you say 8 months? Okay, so then at this point, the timeline completely shifts around. Clearly, there's been overlap between these two relationships. It's already a highly, highly inappropriate relationship. And by the way, they have matching tattoos together. Did I mention that? Hannah and Kyra have matching tattoos together. You don't date your best friend's fiance, ex-fiance. You don't do that, obviously. But then to find out that you were possibly, allegedly cheating on Oscar, the father to your 4 children, okay, who you put through hell online, by the way, like, let me mention that, and embarrassed the living out of him in a breakup video, which, by the way, they did like 2 or 3 breakup videos where they were answering like weird, uncomfortable questions, and she was basically just like humiliating him, and she just did that their entire relationship, quite frankly. But this makes everything so much worse.
Weren't Kyra and Oscar married? You'd be right in assessing that. Also, Preston and Hannah were engaged at that time, if you're wondering. Okay. So the conversation continues, and this girl doesn't know who Kyra is. She doesn't know who Preston is. Kyra does not. I asked her, I'm like, did Kyra never mention the fact that she's a YouTuber? Not once did she mention it, because she doesn't want you to know. So that's the first bombshell. And then that's why this girl reached out to me. She said, I started looking into this story because someone told me, she's like, do you know who that was? Because her friend picked her up. And she's like, no. And then her friend told her who it was. And then she started digging in and realizing who she was. And then she saw my video about the breakup and everything else. And then she said she started getting a little bit upset, because she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Because the day after, she goes to Bumble to look at the messages, and Preston had deleted everything, had like removed and like just ghosted her.
That is extremely sketchy that you're going back and deleting everything, your whole history of everything. Honestly, if he didn't do that, maybe she would not even have like this gross taste in her mouth as much after the fact. But I feel like when you go and delete it, it kind of is a red flag of, oh, we're trying to hide something. The day after you guys hook up or whatever. Not to mention like the danger in all of this, like meeting up with some random person literally that day that you met off of Bumble, and then like deleting them and having no contact with someone that you just did something like that with. I mean, not a great idea, probably.
Doesn't ask about kids or anything like that, but asks like, have you guys ever done this before? The threesomes. And Kyra said, like, she asked, do you get jealous of him and all that kind of stuff? And Kyra said this, according to my source: well, not really, because I was the other third person before this. She said those words. I was the third person. And so now I'm together with him, and I'm not the third person anymore. And so I don't really get jealous. And that it turned out bad because they developed feelings for each other and started dating, and it ruined their Preston and Hannah's relationship. That's basically what she's saying there.
There's a lot of confusion here, and it's interesting because a lot of people were like, well, wait, were they doing that with Hannah? Like, was Hannah involved in this? Like, there's a lot of questions about that, which I think are still sort of maybe up in the air. We don't really know if Hannah was truly involved. Based on some evidence, it's maybe leaning toward no, she really wasn't. I think when she says that I was the third person, I think she's mostly referring to the fact that this is not her man. She's obviously going to be the third person until he breaks up with his actual fiance.
She was the outcast. She was the third wheel until she wasn't the third wheel. Yep. So that was another big, giant what when she told me that. The reason I think that she is telling the truth is because I asked her to share Preston's phone number, and she shared Preston's phone number, and then I corroborated that with someone who knew what Preston's phone number was, and they were the exact same number.
A lot of people had questions about this as well. They're like, well, how do you know that this person's not lying, or whatever? 2 things. Like he said, he cross-referenced the phone numbers. Okay, so we know that this is the real deal. The other thing is that, once again, no one has this photo. That photo had never been posted online. There's no way anyone could have access to that photo unless Preston or Kyra had sent it out to someone else. No way in hell. So that's why it was such a bombshell when this dropped. This really did happen.
Another conversation she said that she had that kind of makes sense after she started watching Kyra a little bit was that they kept commenting on this person's rather large bust size. 5-6 days later, Kyra does her video on getting surgery, April 27th.
See, you got to think about this. Maybe we're looking too far into it, whatever. But the timelines they're way too weird. You know, they're in Vegas of April 2022. All of this stuff allegedly happens, and then literally end of April, same year, announcing she's getting a boob job. After all this takes place. And by the way, this video came out in May. It's all a little bit too weird. It's too much to overlook. It all aligns. All the puzzle pieces fit together.
You got to find the timing quite odd. This is September, guys. Allegedly the moment where Kyra said that they started doing threesomes 8 months ago from April. That's September. But then they started talking about it in their episode after they started doing threesomes, allegedly.
So obviously this is Beneath the Sheets podcast. I mean, this is too crazy. A love triangle talking about threesomes on their podcast, and it matches up with the timeline.
I don't know how I feel. I go back and forth because sometimes I'm like, I feel like it can add to your relationship, and most times I'm actually for it. There's got to be rules, of course. Yeah. I do think that you can't just like sleep with a friend. It can't be like someone you know.
Holy shit! Yeah. What is she? They're like admitting it? Yeah. Now that we know what we know, allegedly, they're literally admitting it.
Yeah. Overall, I've definitely thought about it, and I've even thought like it's a good idea. Are you gonna cry?
No.
Are you gonna cry?
No.
I might. I'm just kidding.
Look at her now. She's laughing.
Yeah, you got to look back, and this is why he brought this up, and I would have too. Once this came out, everybody started to re-examine. Wait a minute here, okay? Proof, timelines, screenshots, everything. Like, you have to look back and be like, wait a minute, this all clicks, right? The breakup video, the time when she broke up with him in allegedly in December, she's pushing him away and being super mean to him and trying to get him to break up, trying to get him to sleep with somebody else, right? Remember? She's comforting another guy. He's really sad. She's there for him. Why weren't you there for your friend, by the way? Your best friend who's going through a breakup, unless you're the reason.
Know what you know now about Kyra, and look at Oscar's face and Kyra's face.
Yep.
Know what you know now. How disgusting of a person do you have to be to even film these videos? Laugh about it. Are you going to cry? While Oscar's literally look at his face in this picture. He is effing heartbroken.
So, yeah, Kyra broke up with me. So
Does
crazy.
it make you feel better to say it like that? Do you feel better because it's not you? Please clarify that I wasn't cheating.
Yeah, you weren't cheating. You weren't
people will dig
cheating.
into
You
that.
did a lot of things that bothered me. I wouldn't consider them full-blown cheating, but it was definitely lines
Oscar,
that
I'm
we
not
shouldn't have
keeping
crossed.
that.
All right.
See?
I wouldn't consider it full-blown cheating. He saw things that he didn't agree with, and she probably gaslit him into saying, no, what you're seeing is not real. I didn't really do that. I'm not really cheating. I was just simply comforting a guy. You don't comfort another guy while you're in a relationship because he's sad.
Didn't even know about the Preston thing. This was somebody else.
What about that situation bothers you?
It's not that situation. I just feel like once we sit here and start naming like specific things, like do we want to talk about when I had mental health issues? You were not there for me. Like we don't need to like dig.
Oh, yeah. That's totally the same thing as cheating on him.
Not that I'm saying I want to get back together or anything, but why'd you feel the need to end it so you could go through this instead of figuring it out together?
One of my biggest things is like being alone, and I think that's truly when you do find yourself is when you're put in these like critical life situations.
Are you alone? No. Preston's with you.
This is another one of their cringy breakup videos. Once again, that was deleted. Don't forget this. She says, I broke up with you because I need to be alone and figure out who I am without you. The third person, the whistleblower that was involved in the threesome, they have no incentive to lie, right? So Kyra said, we've been together 8 months. Why would they lie about that, first of all? This whole time, she says, I need to be alone. She's never been alone. She's always had somebody waiting in the wings. So let's read these comments really quick. This is an interesting comment, okay? This just gives context. Hannah was still commenting and liking Kyra's stuff until the day that this video came out. Ready for her villain era. So literally this video was such a bombshell, right? Such a bombshell that Hannah found out that Kyra and Preston were together when this video came out in May of 2022. She didn't even know. And she still thought Kyra was her friend at that point. Here's another one. Once again, like I said, once this video dropped, everything changed. everything changed. Everybody starts to go back and be like, wait a minute, this was weird. This was weird. This was weird. So somebody commented, everyone go to okbaby and watch the Great Gift Wrong Time video. And like around the 12:30 mark, Kyra and Preston are in the kitchen texting each other. It was game night for them. Kyra is one crazy psycho bitch. Hopefully this backfires on her. This was 2 years ago that somebody saw this and pointed this out. Once there's one, multiple people come out, okay? So somebody else came forward with information. Different person. His name is Preston Smith. He's dating a popular YouTuber and she cheated on her fiance with him. And he was dating her best friend at the time. I matched with him on Bumble. Obviously, that's their MO, is to go on Bumble. Okay, so everything's aligning, right? I matched with him on Bumble recently, and he tried to get me to have a threesome with them. Once again, that's their other MO. He's into some weird stuff, all around an unfaithful and weird guy. Plus, his girlfriend is a whole basket case. I'd steer clear. Just noting this, by the way, this is a different profile picture that Preston has for himself on this day versus the other one. So this is a completely different person, okay? Just proof of that. This person says to Preston, are you looking for 2 girls or just one more? He says, one more girl to add to me and a girl. He will say a girl. He doesn't say my girlfriend, you know, blah, blah. But I am open to 4 if you have a friend. Sweating emoji. Oh my God. She says, haha, I might. So it's you and your girlfriend, I'm guessing. He says, yes, ma'am. Is that something that excites you? So creepy. Oh my God. Okay. So then this is when this is when things get crazy. Look, it's important to the lore. I wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't. Okay. So they then post a screenshot. And apparently they were talking to Kyra on Snapchat or something like that. It says, I love asshole stuff. Everything to do with it. Haha. They said back, that's not too unique. I was expecting something crazy, laughing emoji. She said, I like being farted on, LOL. That's pretty nutty.
Yeah, no, the way that it happened wasn't my favorite. No cheating took place, for the 800th time that I have to say that. Pretty sure even Oscar has gotten on and said, I don't know.
Even if Oscar got on and said no cheating was involved, he doesn't know. That's not you being absolved of cheating. It's because Oscar said it. Oscar doesn't know what's going on. You lied to him.
He even acknowledged that. People still just have fun.
Yeah, you weren't cheating.
You people will dig into
You did a lot of things that bothered me. I wouldn't consider them full-blown cheating, but it was definitely lines
Oscar,
that
I'm
we
not
shouldn't have
keeping
crossed.
that.
All right.
Will say, me and my boyfriend now are we got very serious very quickly.
For a long time, she was not saying who she was dating. She was not saying that, but she's revealed little things. This is in May.
For him and I to decide to be together back in, what was it, March of last year, we kind of had to be very serious and very interested in each other because the risk that we took doing that was obviously a very big one.
Because Hannah's getting married in 2022. What year are we in? Right? Next year. Yeah, 2022.
It's just despicable. Hannah's supposed to be getting married in 2022. You're sick. I mean, it's seriously disgusting. And it's really hard to put it into words because it's just been talked about so many times, but it's like, just think about that. I mean, really think about that. The ultimate betrayal of someone is your best friend taking your high school sweetheart. She wouldn't know Preston if it were not for Hannah. They sat and looked each other in the eyes and knew each other and had game nights together. And like, you know, for Oscar and Hannah, how could you do that to those two? It's just disgusting.
We need more info about the threesome stuff. Well, I don't know what you want to know. I've never heard about the Tinder threesome. I mean, asked, was it in Vegas? I have had threesomes in Vegas. Is it that story I've heard about? Is that story true? No.
Girl, come on. You're going to say, oh, I was in Vegas at that time. I'm now dating Preston, right? Like I've admitted now I'm dating Preston out loud publicly, but somehow you want everyone to believe that the threesome story is not true. When there's evidence, text messages and screenshots and photos, there's evidence. And you want to say, oh, but that one's not true, guys. Don't even believe that one. I mean, how stupid do you think we are? This is why she's so hated, is she thinks that people are just dumb.
There's like a very small portion of that story is true. I kind of talked about this on my last live, actually. Like, usually the base of the story is true, and then everything that follows is like never true.
So then she gets fed up, all right? And she posts these to her Instagram story. So let's read these. So it says, we all have these days, but damn, it's coming down heavy today, LOL. Let's make this clear. Drama channel's ready. I did not cheat on Oscar. We had tons of problems behind the scenes and had a few times prior to this that we almost broke up, which includes him leaving me. Preston did not leave Hannah for me. Okay. I'm still friends with Winter. Don't know who that is. I should have been a better friend to Karen, but unfortunately wasn't the best at communication or understanding the value of friendships at the time. Alyssa and I grew apart. So it sounds like she's got, 3 people that she's like really fallen out with here. Okay, not surprising at all. And then she goes on to say, Hannah and I are no longer friends, although I truly love her and think she's one of the best people to ever walk this planet. My breakup video is a very, very hard video for me because I was trying to cover all the emotions I was feeling by not feeling and laughing, and by doing so, it was appearing heartless and truthfully just overall horrible, which I do 100% believe is not an accurate representation of my character, and I'm so sorry for those of you that it hurt. Okay, how about sorry to Oscar? I am dating Preston, so she's out with it, and we have been seeing each other since March of this year. His divorce was allegedly filed on April 2022, by the way. And that's also coincides with the last date of the Beneath the Sheets podcast final episode. So that's odd. Sometimes friends that are there for you in tough situations turn into more. Once again, why are you comforting him, a grown man? Why are you not comforting your best friend through a horrible breakup from her high school sweetheart? Well, I think we know.
Yes, we definitely were sleeping together before we ever fell in love. It didn't take long to fall in love, but we definitely were sleeping together out of struggle relating. We were both the bad guys in a relationship. And we were the ones who ended our relationships.
You ended your relationships for each other. You're kidding me, right? First of all, why are you even revealing all this information? It's so crazy. But what?
And we didn't really have anybody at the time because of everything that was going on. So we really kind of used each other, that sounds so bad, in those ways. And it didn't feel wrong at that time because we were so angry and upset and hurt and alone and all.
Why are you angry and upset and hurt and alone when you were the ones that did it? Everything she says does not add up.
Not that I'm saying I want to get back together or anything, but why'd you feel the need to end it so you could go through this instead of figuring it out together?
One of my biggest things is like being alone, and I think that's truly when you do.
So remember, she said, I need to be alone. I need to be alone. You weren't alone. And you just said we're helping each other through it because we were really, really lonely. Wait, so you wanted to be alone though. That was your goal in breaking up with Oscar, was you want to be alone. But then now you're complaining about, oh, well, we were alone, so we had to run into each other's arms.
You find yourself is when you're put in these like critical life situations.
Lies. It's just all lies to rationalize why you broke up your family.
And I feel like you said, I've been so comfortable with you that I'm not, like, I don't know anything outside of that. And I don't feel like I've like plateaued. Like I can't grow anymore. Yeah.
This is like reminding me of Matt and Abby. I've plateaued, like I can't grow anymore. And he goes, same. Like it's so crazy. It's just so crazy.
This is such bullshit,
yeah.
You guys. You know this bullshit. He goes, why couldn't we learn to grow together?
In fact, you're barely affecting them. Yeah. When you're affecting the kids way more than you're affecting
kids, the spouse, the parents of the spouse, the parents.
They're talking about cheating, and people went back and they go, wait a minute, look at how she's fidgeting in this podcast episode.
Parents of the guy or girl you're sleeping with, the family of that person, your friends, like, because everybody usually is intertwined in those situations, and when one thing like that is ruined, it's difficult.
There were a lot of signs, especially around Christmas time, that things have gone awry. And as we know, she broke up with him like December 21st or something like that. It's like, wow, great. 3 days before Christmas. Like, what a gem of a person. There were a lot of other signs. Like, for example, they saw 5 stockings on the mantle when there should have been like 6 there or something like that. There were signs that something had happened, right? But this is just to go to show how sick and twisted that these two are. This video makes me sick, what they do in this stretch of time here. So first of all, Hannah and Preston got Oscar and Kyra a Morales family sign for their house that said all their kids' names and their Morales family.
Yeah, I'll cross this thing out here. I'll just figure something out. Yo, it's the thought that counts, and I truly appreciate that.
Awesome gift, like a couple months ago.
Obviously, Hannah was the one that did all this. Preston had probably no idea. Hannah bought them a family thing. And at this point, they're broken up, clearly. But what? How do you look people in the face and do this?
Thank you, though, guys. All right, you guys. Kids are now in bed.
8 points. And I like that they are like so bulky. They do look like platform shoes though.
Dude, they look good.
Also, I will take this.
So let me set the stage here, okay? This is probably the most heinous video that I have ever seen, and it is so disgusting. It makes my stomach drop, okay? Drop down. Like, I just get sick from this. It's cruel, okay? This is evil. Someone or whatever got Heelys for Oscar or something like that. I don't know who bought who what, but they bought each other gifts. This is around Christmas time. Once again, it's winter. Oscar and Hannah are playing with the Heelys and like sliding around with them. They're all talking as friends. They do this all the time. They have Saturday night game night, whatever. Watch what happens.
No, really.
Oh, look, dude, hear that. Oh, yeah.
Today, helping Kyra and I, we're gonna go to Target.
Hannah, you're gonna teach me how to use these. Already I feel a little wobbly, a little cattywampus. Oh my god. Yo, Preston, get over here.
it's very weird.
I'm taller than the frame. That's a good thing.
Take a look in the back. Okay, so Kyra is texting up a storm in the back. Now, you got to think to yourself, who's she texting, right? Because everybody that she knows and loves is in one room right now. And her kids are up at bed. And they don't have phones. Hopefully not. Who's she texting right now? She's up there texting a storm.
You want to say up? Am I tall? Am I as tall as Preston? Oh, no. What am I, 5'10" now then? Because I'm usually 5'7", 5'8".
I get to be what, 5'2"? Well, I don't know how to like teach it, but like, okay, so you're gonna like take a step and then you're gonna like
push.
go.
Look how much she's typing. I feel sick when I watch this. He takes his phone out of his pocket.
Make your back foot.
He's standing in the back. Look at his body language too. He's standing in the back corner, leaning against it. Who's he texting? And right as she puts her phone down, he picks his phone up.
He's gonna go forward.
Like it's pushing. Yes.
That seems backwards.
Look at them. He puts his phone down, she picks hers up.
But hey, look at me, I'm scooting.
Yes, like that.
Oh. Hey, okay.
She's laughing at something that's being texted.
Yep, there you go.
Oh my god.
Clearly, she's going like this with her phone, you know. Clearly, he knows to pick it up. She's like signaling them, hey, pick it up, I just sent you a text.
Yeah!
They are so sketchy in this, like, you just know that there's something off. You know it.
Do you
They
feel
see me
it?
rolling, they hating, trying to catch me riding through the A. Alright, let's have a race, screw it. Let's go downstairs. 3, 2.
Oscar and Hannah go downstairs and they're having fun. I mean, these two are just like lighthearted fun, carefree. Take a look at the energy in the room after they come back upstairs.
1. Oh, she's a pro. Hey, but I got it too. Look at her.
Oscar's just such a nice guy. Like, he really is.
Jealous much? Or what's up? Of these?
They're both sitting at the kitchen table talking to each other. You could tell that there's like tension in the room. It's obvious what they've been doing. People started finding stuff like that. They're like, wait a minute, this was off, this was off, this was off. Everything aligns with the timeline that we have. She tried to hide him on her YouTube channel and her Instagram for a long time. It obviously didn't work. And then finally, she announces, actually in July 2023, that they're engaged. And she said, we're getting married June of 2024. Here's some photos of them, you know. I don't know how you could do this, like posting these photos, no care in the world. Like, it's so gross. Here's some of the comments. Y'all deserve each other if y'all were willing to do what y'all did together. Y'all knew being together, there's a lot of y'alls. Y'all knew being together was pretty much forbidden fruit, but you didn't care about anyone but yourselves. They do deserve each other. He will leave you the same way you got together. So they actually end up getting married in January of 2024. And she announces randomly that the wedding date's actually going to be moved up, which is insane that we're even here in this timeline. These two are now getting married when this was supposed to be him marrying Hannah and she was supposed to be marrying Oscar because once again, they're both engaged to somebody else. So it's just insane, the audacity of this, like going through this. It's just unbelievable to me and just so gross. She basically says, I'm just so excited. That's why I'm moving my wedding up. That's why I'm moving it up. And then people start to speculate, wait a minute, you're lying. You're probably pregnant.
Babies first or wedding first? Definitely wedding first. I haven't done it like that in my past and I really want to do it right this time, I guess. Like, I have 4 kids and I love my kids. I never would change that, but I do think it will be nice to have a baby with my husband. I announced that we were gonna get married in June. So we got engaged in June and I said a year from then we were gonna get married in June. Well, I couldn't wait that long. I was too freaking excited. Plus, it just seemed like a long time to plan.
Because I'm just too excited. It's too long to plan. Well, that turns out to be a lie once again.
I'm not pregnant yet.
Actually, this is the time where I tell you. No, seriously, I'm not pregnant. You actually got married so quick because you're pregnant. No. Have I ever been the person who has to be married before having children.
So she's super condescending to people. You're wrong. Like, why? Stop saying this. Like, you're kidding me, right? Like, oh my God, you're so stupid, whatever. And it turns out the whole time she was pregnant before they got married. She admits it later. Finally. There's a big update that's still coming, okay? Big drama. But I did want to give you an update that Oscar, this is like an example of what she put him through. There was like a very long time where he was obviously going through like a grieving period, and you know, he had lost his fiance and his whole world turns upside down, and he like had his kids half the time, which is not ideal. And like, this is an example of what she put him through.
I've just been doing that, sitting, questioning everything, feeling like I'm in this dark, place, man. And it's funny because I look around and I see color, but I've been feeling like I'm living through black and white.
Oscar moved on, luckily, and everyone is basically saying, holy shit, he upgraded. He's with a girl that he loves. They love each other. They just bought a house together. She has a child as well, so they parent together. They're loving life. She treats him great, apparently. Life's good for Oscar, so I just had to say that, like, he totally, you know, found somebody new. Everybody's excited for him but Kyra.
Easier knowing that Addie is a mom, or does it make it harder? I like that she's a mom because I feel like then she's a mom. She understands the severity of being a parent.
First of all, why are you answering these questions? Like, these are questions you don't answer questions like this online. Talking about your ex's new person and like the co-parenting relationships. Like, why are you answering questions? Why do these people need to know the answers to this? Why are you airing this out?
Because sometimes I feel like if somebody gets in a relationship with a kid, they're like, oh, fun, whatever. And it's like, no, if you're getting in a relationship with somebody with a child, you need to like really be in it for the long run and see a lot of potential, because obviously that's serious. So I do really like that. But
you know who's not a parent? Your stolen property. So he wouldn't know.
Initially, before I knew her, it made it a little bit scary in the sense that not only is a woman coming into my kid's life, but another child, you know, and like, is that child nice? Are they well behaved? Like all the things. I mean,
are you out of your mind? Who says this?
My kids are naughty too, like normal behavior. But just those questions arised, obviously.
Yeah, so here's some of the comments. She was worried about a non-parent getting with Oscar. Girl, that's what you did. Preston didn't have kids. Exactly. But she can cheat on Oscar with her ex-boyfriend's man, and she's worried about a child. Yeah, Imagine having beef with a 3-year-old. Yeah, that's what it comes across as. She has 5 children, and she's home-wrecked a whole relationship. What is she even talking about? Why is she on here just spilling all of her and other people's business? Exactly. This is the girl who let her nasty husband sleep in the same bed as her kids. Yeah, great parenting decision. That's disgusting. Apparently that happened. I don't know. Recently, in April of 2024, Kyra finally announces what everybody already knew, which is that she's pregnant with baby number 5. The kicker in all of this is that she has it very well documented at this point on her YouTube channel. She has said that a doctor told her that it would be very unsafe and potentially life-threatening if she were ever to get pregnant again, because she's had 4 C-sections already on her body, which is extremely stressful to your body, as people can probably surmise, right? So she announces that she's pregnant with baby number 5. The audacity of all of this. This is just insane. These are some of the comments. I thought this was the guy dating your nanny. Is that your nanny's man? The audacity. Dead emoji. So embarrassing. Definition of homewrecker. Absolutely, 100%. Like I said, this is the most hated person on the internet. Just got the ick. Congratulations, but weren't you advised that it's dangerous to have another baby? Please take good care of yourself. She has babies for content. Wow, this chick doesn't stop. Anyone else remember when she had her last baby and they told her not to have any more babies because it would be dangerous? LOL, just me? Okay, 2,300 likes.
My doctor today told me that she doesn't think my body can have any more children. Even if I wanted to have another one, it's not about me wanting to, it's about that I really just can't have another one. And I have accepted it because that it is what it is, and I don't want to put my life at risk because I do have 4 other children that I need to be here for.
So she's acknowledging that it would be extremely dangerous.
And care for. I wish that wanting it so bad meant that I could have more, but unfortunately that's not the way that it works. And I found out pretty much a year ago, that I could not have any more babies, or I should not have any more babies. It would be dangerous for both the baby and me.
The title of this video right here, 24-year-old gets a vasectomy procedure and reaction. You know, and this is the time they're fully still together at this point. They decided that Oscar was going to get a vasectomy, so he, couldn't have any more kids. And, a lot of people believe that he did that so she would never, wouldn't have to worry about anything. She wouldn't have to worry about getting pregnant because she can't, because it could potentially put her life at risk. So this is a guy who's 24 years old getting a vasectomy. Mostly he's probably doing it out of a selfless act for her, to allow him to go through this when she knows what she's doing and that she knows that she's not fully into the relationship. It's just crazy.
It was a lot harder for me to accept, as a lot of you guys probably saw a year ago when I was told, but I've come to terms with it. Really hard on your body. They actually recommend that you wait 5 years between each C-section, and then even at that, they recommend you stop at 3 or 4. We will have 4 C-sections in 5 years, and that's just really hard on your body. Having C-sections is dangerous. Whether you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the more you have, yes, the more hard it is on your body. You definitely want to make sure you have time in between each C-section, all of that jazz. That way people think oh my God, aren't you not supposed to have that many C-sections? Because I think the same things. But people do it.
Wow.
I would love to have more than one baby with him, but I know for a fact that I can only have 1 or 2 myself. But after that, we can just get a surrogate or something. They're always she even said we could have another one after this, potentially.
She obviously went and found a different doctor. And the fact that even one person said it is it is life-threatening potentially for you to have more children, and you just don't care about that and you just go with it, especially when you've been so vocal about it. And she was trying to almost do educational videos about the women's health.
She said
here we go.
One of her patients, this most recent one we've had, one of her patients is on C-section 7.
C-section 7. Do you really think that this is a good thing to be spreading around to women and putting that in their head? Okay, but why does Girly Pop need so many babies? Yep, she's so irresponsible. No way any of her kids are getting proper love and attention. This is so ridiculous. She got pregnant because she was afraid of him leaving. She needs more babies for clout since she can't show the ones she already has. Tragic.
So interesting that people get a high off of maybe let's sign up for 18 years.
No, that's me. I'm like, oh my God, you want to try and make a kid? Okay.
This is another one of those clips that it's despicable. So Hannah right now is talking about how she really, really wants kids with Preston and that they've been basically trying to have kids.
Hey, let's go.
That's funny.
You're not even listening. Preston, come on. I'm into that.
Into what? Oh, the
breeding.
Tell her you want a baby and she'll be ready. But that is because you want a baby, or do you actually like the thrill of it?
How could you do this to someone?
Well, the
just want a
thrill's
baby.
gone because I've done that so many times and haven't gotten pregnant. I don't have the risk factor. I just want a baby.
Exactly. So you're not really into breeding.
No,
okay.
Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but it seems like Kyra was especially motivated to have children. Are you trying to upset Hannah and just really twist the knife? Because Hannah's telling you, I really want a baby with him. That's all I want. And then the first thing you do, you actually get pregnant before you're even married. After you stole her man, by the way. It seems evil. We're gonna have a bunch of kids. We'll just get a surrogate after that.
Preston, Hannah, you're supposed to give his introduction. I'm waiting for you.
I'm waiting for yours.
He's the behind the
This
scenes
is
man.
my not baby daddy because apparently we have some
baby
issues
daddy.
that he doesn't want to be a baby daddy. I don't know. We're figuring it out.
She's cackling. He was saying to her he doesn't want kids. Do you know how hurtful it is that not only did she steal your man, married him, embarrassed you, made money off of it, is doing these weird little lives for cash where she's giving people all the dirty details about all of it. But she's now having his baby and planning on having several more, and that's all you wanted in your life. It's insane. No wonder she's the most hated person on the internet.
What made him change his mind about having kids? He's always wanted kids. That's a huge goal of his, is to have kids. Kids of his own.
Maybe conjecture here, but I think that honestly for Hannah, all of this has been probably a lot. And obviously we're all team Hannah for sure. I think honestly the announcing of the baby thing is probably the thing that she's like, this is the final straw. It's time that I come forward and speak my piece, So after 2 years, she finally broke her silence. So she posts this video called The Diary of Hannah Hawker, Poetic Justice, a poem inspired by Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria. And shout out to the person that re-uploaded this, by the way, because this has now been deleted. But this was truly Hannah. So it's been confirmed, by the way. Hannah really did post this. Multiple sources, she's confirmed it somehow in roundabout ways. But this is really from her, okay? And after 2 years, she drops this. And she also drops a GoFundMe, which I don't look, I'm like, okay, I don't really know about that one. But she posts, help me get a fresh start with a tattoo cover up, goal of $400. So it says, hi everyone, as some of you may know, I have a few matching tattoos that were once symbols of friendship, but now serve as painful reminders of betrayal and heartache. While those memories hold significance, they're ones I'm ready to release and distance myself from. Covering up these tattoos isn't just about a physical transformation, it's about reclaiming my story and letting go of a chapter that no longer serves me. It's about finding closure and moving forward with intention and positivity. I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude for incredible support I've received along this journey. Your encouragement and kindness have been a lifeline through some very dark times. A dollar donation would be more than just a financial support. It would be a vote of confidence and a chance for us to be part of something much bigger together. Okay, come on. Every donation will directly contribute to my cover-up process. Anything beyond my goal will go towards clearing credit card debt and addressing accumulated student loans impacted by this trauma. So she's basically insinuating that Preston put her in severe financial debt. If you're unable to donate, simply sharing this campaign would mean the world to me. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart for your continued support as I embrace this new chapter, no matter what, no matter when. With love, Hannah. This is how she opens up the video with a soundbite from their podcast.
To me, when I think of like I think of like homewrecker. That is what to me, that is somebody who deserves all the shaming in the world. Even not happy. Like if they're not happy in a relationship, that is not your job, Miss Sophie, to swoop in and try to fuck the guy till he figures it out. Like, no, that's not good either. Not it. Yeah, there you need like. That is a different type of situation.
I don't know if I've ever seen a clip age so horribly in my life. I picked out some of the most important bars from, basically this is like a diss track, okay?
The Diary of Hannah Hawker, Poetic Justice, a poem inspired by Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria.
Her follower count getting neutralized. I can only watch in silence. The family vlogger we once knew is looking desperate and now spiraling. Moving just like a charlatan, selling lies, it's giving disgraceful. Why educate? You're not educated. Pregnancy, your only angle. Youch. A pathetic master manipulator. I've kept quiet for a while. You're not an influencer, you're a homewrecker. With the hope of being accepted, Hannah Hawker stood out. Girl code, never been in your collection. So the biggest takeaway from this is honestly just after 2 years, she's basically like, you are a homewrecker. From my mouth, from my stance, you were my best friend, you're a homewrecker, you stole him away. And I think that when people go back and they're like, well, maybe were they doing like threesomes together and then things got, went awry and stuff like that. I feel like when you see stuff like this, the you're a homewrecker stuff, it kind of alludes to more of like, I don't think Hannah was involved in this. I think it was just straight up probably cheating and sneaking around. I don't like you scamming people online. For them, I'm ending the beef. Yeah, they know you were effing P. Oops, I spilled the tea. You're better off beating on him again before you think about beating me. What I learned is homewreckers feel no remorse, and I'm fine with it. I'll cross the line with it. Call a bitch out. I took my time with it. We can be on a 2-hour time difference. Okay, so once again, homewrecker calling her out. When I see him stand by Sivertson, that's her last name, I believe he sees two bad. I believe y'all don't like women. It's real competition. Y'all might pop ass with them. Let's speak on perspective. I have receipts. Maybe I'll double back with you. And when I asked about a bitch, you played dumb bitch. You turned out to be that bitch. This is really interesting because I think it alludes to, once again, I asked you about what was going on with Preston. You played dumb. And it turns out that it was you. So it sounds like she was trying to confide in her and be like, I think Preston's distancing himself. Can you imagine this? I mean, it's like out of a horror movie. Hey, I feel like he's cheating on me. I think he's talking to somebody else. I don't know who it is. And she goes, really? And then it turns out that it was her that he was talking to. Can you imagine that? Disgusting. So anyway, here's the final update, okay? Kyra and Preston are moving forward like nothing matters. We don't care. We're gonna go ahead and do all of our gender reveal stuff and blah, 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 whatever. And her response has been nothing but eye-opening. None of us are surprised by this response and this behavior, but this is a screenshot, by the way, from her Instagram from 2019. So it says, having 2 girls means one day only one of my 3 kids will like me. So she's already putting that out into the universe, saying the girls are not gonna like me. Only my boy is gonna like me. Why would you say that? This is toxic boy mom behavior, okay? So tell me we're not all shocked when she finds out that she's having a girl Okay, spoiler alert. And she's pissed about it.
If it's a girl, you're literally gonna give me a hug, Vic. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
You just gotta, baby, you'll be fine.
Okay.
No matter what.
Keep your eyes closed.
They are closed. You need to keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
They're so cringy. Oh my god. So, of course, it's a girl. Oh no.
Another one. We're gonna have 4. Can you imagine when they're in high school?
Okay, we just got home and I feel like it's set in a little bit more. I feel like I was definitely in shock. And I feel like you didn't react because you were worried about my reaction.
I was afraid that Kyra was gonna be like, I was afraid that Kyra was gonna be like, dang it.
I feel like because the last couple of days we've been talking a lot about like what we wanted and all that.
I think to even post online that you're disappointed that you're having a boy or a girl or like expressing that in any way is one of the most disgusting, grossest, weirdest things you could do, because it's like your child is going to see that one day and see, oh, my mom was really pissed and needed to be consoled because I was a girl, which I had no control over.
I kept telling him, like, I am nervous that it's gonna be a girl because I don't know how I'll react.
Yeah, so I saw the pink and I immediately just looked up at her and be like, can I celebrate a lot or a little bit?
But I was like, I wasn't disappointed. I've just heard of like gender disappointment and I was really scared that that might be it. Not because I don't want a girl, but because, you know, I already have 3 girls.
You don't want a girl. She's saying it in other words. You don't want a girl. You're gonna have to hug me if it's a girl. I can't. No, I want a boy.
So it's just like overwhelming, if anything. But anyways, I don't have gender disappointment. I do feel stressed. I do feel like...
you are stressed about it.
Yeah, I do feel stressed. And I feel bad because I know Levi. If Levi knew, he would really want a boy. Like, that's all he's talked about when we've talked about having kids. Yeah. But I think, you know, in the long run...
It'll be fine.
He just loves siblings.
And we have more opportunities to get a boy.
It'll be fine. We'll have more chances. I know that this isn't what we wanted, honey. We'll have more chances.
Yeah.
But we'll be fine.
I was in shock. I didn't really know how I felt. And then also being blindfolded.
This is one of the most disturbing people that I have ever seen. You can't have a clear conscience at night. I don't know how you lay your head on the pillow and you know that you did these things to your friends, your family, your children. You're saying these things about your kids. You previously exploited, I mean, let's not even get into that right now. Exploited your children online for years before you were called out and asked to stop, finally. It honestly only really came to a stop because her and Oscar broke up. And why'd they break up? She wanted to be with her nanny's and her best friend's husband. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. It is truly unbelievable that this much mayhem and destruction can come from one person. And really, they do deserve each other at the end of the day. And luckily, their partners have moved on. And so anyway, guys, that's it. That's the most hated person on the internet. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for many more videos just like this one. I've got many, many ideas for videos on the way. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. And I'll see you in my next one.
Oh, that makes me sad.
We'll look forward to grandchildren, okay?
I hope they all have 4 kids. I will push it. I will be pushing that.
No, you gotta leave that up to them and their
4 or more.
Don't influence nothing. Leave that up to them. And not saying that like I don't want them to, but I feel like you cannot influence people to have kids.
My own
that
kids,
is very
I can.
dangerous. No. You gotta let that be up to them.
16 grandkids.
Yeah. You're leaving it up to them.